This is Newsbeat from OU Daily. I'm Peggy Dodd.
And I'm Megan Pratt.
And here's your weekly headlines. Starting on campus, the OU African Student Association expressed its support for Morocco on Sunday and called on other members of the OU community to follow its lead. This comes after a catastrophic earthquake with a magnitude of 6.8 last week. The death toll there has reached 2,901 people as of Thursday.
The OU Board of Regents approved the search committee for the new dean of Gaylord College of Journalism and Mass Communications. The college's former dean, Ed Kelly, resigned in May, citing a need for younger leadership. The Regents also approved an updated advertising policy, removing the ban on using OU's logo and other trademark symbols in alcohol advertising. In August, the Sooners released their official beer in partnership with Coop Ale Works, named after the Sooner Schooner.
OU President Joseph Harroz Jr. talked to the Daily in a sit-down interview Thursday morning about the university's diversity, equity, and inclusion program and how he plans to support it despite political objections. Here's Harris.
Some of the fear why people are not going to school, not going to higher education, is that they fear they'll be indoctrinated. And this is not that place, nor will it ever be. Because we believe in free speech and freedom of expression. So whatever the political winds have in, we're not going to stray from those values. We can't. Right? We can't lose our soul in this.
Harris told the Daily how he maintains affordability and excellence at OU while tuition and fees have been increased in recent years.
Our students wouldn't come here if we were the cheapest because we couldn't afford to provide excellence. So it's that dynamic tension that exists, but our home base for all the analysis goes back to those two things: value, excellence, and affordability, and make sure that the American dream is real.
Lastly, Harris shared his vision for the future of the Lloyd Noble Center as the proposed entertainment district in University North Park includes a new arena. The arena will partly house OU basketball, both men's and women's, and the women's gymnastics team. The entertainment district, which was announced last week, would also include restaurants, housing, and retail spaces.
It still holds people. You can still conduct a basketball game there. You can still hold a gymnastics meet, but the venue itself is one that's not desired by those that really want to attend and create that exciting scene for basketball or gymnastics. We still want to, even if this passes, we still want to use Lloyd Noble for a lot of purposes, including practices, and having facilities that are updated and upgraded in those spaces, like locker rooms, is really important.
Moving to Norman Public Schools, last week NPS announced the district had not adopted the PragerU Kids curriculum. This statement came after Oklahoma State Superintendent of Public Instruction Ryan Walters announced a partnership with PragerU, which is a conservative media nonprofit organization. Oklahoma is now the second state to allow PragerU content in its schools. NPS's announcement follows a similar message from Oklahoma City Public Schools.
During its meeting on Monday, the Norman Public Schools Board of Education approved a purchase request for weapons detection equipment. This comes after the district updated its security guidelines at athletic events last week. The policy follows from a series of bomb threats to school districts across the state and fatal shooting at Choctaw High School football game. The board also approved 169 certified personnel members and 52 support staff hires at the meeting.
On to city news. The parents of Norman native and former OU basketball player Trae Young donated $10,000 last week to the new Adult Wellness Education Center. Young currently plays for the Atlanta Hawks. His parents, Rayford and Candace Young, donated the money to cover membership fees for qualifying members during the first year of the center's operations.
The city of Norman will begin a modified route network on October 16th. The recommendations in the Go Norman Transit Plan include 59 new bus stops, the removal of 51 bus stops, and the city's first transit center on Comanche Street. This is the second recent update to the city's public transit system. The first was the rollout of Norman On Demand, a rideshare service available to Norman residents.
The Oklahoma Turnpike Authority can officially enter the bond market. The $500 million bond package was approved by the Council of Bond Oversight on Monday. The bonds will support Access Oklahoma, a 15-year and $5 billion infrastructure project. That project, specifically the construction of new turnpikes, has faced pushback from Cleveland County residents since its 2022 announcement. For more on Access and the fight against it, check out oudaily.com.
Griffin Memorial Hospital is officially leaving Norman. On Tuesday, it was announced by the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse that a new hospital in OKC will replace Griffin's services. The Donahue Behavioral Health Hospital will be on the campus of Oklahoma State University, Oklahoma City. The facility will hold 330 beds, serving 275 adults and 55 adolescents daily. The hospital is expected to bring in $447.5 million in jobs and taxes.
Griffin Memorial Hospital was the state's primary mental health facility for over a century. Four of Norman's legislators released a statement Tuesday expressing concerns about what will happen to current Griffin employees once the hospital moves to Oklahoma City. Representative Annie Mintz, a Democrat from Norman, wrote in the statement her disagreement with how the Griffin move was handled. To see these statements and more about the new hospital, visit oudaily.com.
On Tuesday, members of the Norman City Council approved requests for road widening projects. These locations include parts of East Norman on 24th Avenue Northeast and around campus on Lindsay Street. The widening refers to key intersections where there are no left turn lanes.
Norman residents approved a 25-year franchise agreement between the city and Oklahoma Natural Gas on Tuesday. Less than 5,000 people headed to the polls. The election was a close one, with 50.24% of voters for the agreement and 49.76% opposed. The result came down to a 21-vote margin. The agreement will allow ONG to install, operate, and maintain distribution systems in Norman.
Let's look at the Daily's calendar for coming events this week. Later tonight and tomorrow, OU Volleyball will host the University of California, Los Angeles. On Saturday, OU football plays TU in Tulsa. On Sunday, OU soccer will play at Omaha, and men's golf will compete in the Husky Invitational on Monday and Tuesday. Into the week, OU will host on-campus flu shot clinics on Wednesday in the Union Ballroom and next Friday in the lobby of Cross A. Both clinics will be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The vaccines will be free for students. The Daily's calendar of events is filling up. The calendar tab on our website features campus, city, and statewide events.
Thanks for listening to the Newsbeat from OU Daily. This is the Daily's weekly news podcast. New episodes of the Newsbeat will air every Friday. Each episode will give you a short recap of what happened on campus and also across Norman that week. Be on the watch for longer, special editions about each of our print productions. During those episodes, you'll get a behind-the-scenes look at articles and hear from reporters about the stories before you pick up your copy. The first of these will be released later this month about the OU Daily's Best of Norman Guide.
In the meantime, keep up with us throughout the week on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at the OU Daily, and on our website at oudaily.com. Sports fans, check out the OU Daily Sports Podcast. Hear the latest in OU sports and commentary from sports editor Colton Sully and assistant sports editors Jason Batacchio and Louis Razor. You can find that on YouTube, Spotify, and oudaily.com.
But if you'd like to read more about the stories you heard on this podcast, you can find those and more online. My name is Peggy Dodd. I'm a news editor here at The Daily.
My name is Megan Pratt. I'm a news reporter here at the OU Daily.
And we'll see you here next week on the Newsbeat.